How the heck are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. At the end of the day, every day is a great day. Even if you don't think it is. Even if things are upside down, it's generally, I would guess, better than the alternative. So I bet you're having a great day whether you realize it or not. And on further reflection, you should probably have the habit of telling yourself, you know what, I'm pretty thankful for today. It's a good day. It's a good moment. It's good right now. And you know what? You're watching this video, so that's a good thing. I have recently been thinking about something that I think I might have kind of touched on before, but it's this idea of trying to see what is actually there. Trying to see what is there. And it's very easy for us to just kind of rock through our lives oblivious to what's really going on. And we rarely take the time to actually see what is there. We, look at something like a super cool tool of creation like this awesome pencil, and we just see it as a pencil. We label it pencil. But what we need to do is we need to slow down. We need to try to see with new eyes that maybe we've never used them before. Maybe that's why we don't see what's really there. And when we do that, even pocket believes this is a good idea. When we do that, it enables us to view our lives and experiences and situations and our world with a whole different perspective. It's very easy for us to do a couple things that kind of pull us off the proper track. And one is we judge. We just say, I don't like that pencil, or I love that pencil, which I do. But I love lots of things. But we do that with everything. We see people and we decide we don't like them. We go through life deciding that this is good, that's not so good. And the reality is that you need it all. I'm reading a really good book right now. It's called No Mud, No Lotus. No Mud, No Lotus. And that's by the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. And what he's saying in the book, now you should read the book, don't take my word for it, but what he's saying in the book basically is that we need everything in our lives. We need suffering so that we can actually experience the opposite. And not only that, but often if you actually focus on that suffering, you realize that maybe it's not actually suffering like you would think it is. Maybe a lot of it is what we heap on it. And maybe a lot of it is what we run away from. And in fact, at least I found in this life, a lot of the best things that have happened in my life came as a result of usually my own stupidity, my own drama, my own suffering. And when you get through to the other side of that, good things happen. Magic happens. A lot of people instead, though, they dwell in that suffering. It's like they want to feel it. It's like they enjoy it, but wish that it wasn't there and that they were happy all the time. Well, guess what, people? You're never going to be happy all the time. That's not possible. That is, it's not reality. So if we learn to see what is there and not to judge it, it can allow us to get to somewhere else. The practice, it's kind of a meditation in a way. The birds just love this topic. They're telling you their view of reality. If you don't know, you just don't understand it, and neither do I. But if we allow ourselves to step back for a second and just see what is there, without our 2 cents, without that monkey mind chattering, between our ears, judging things, then we can start to appreciate our lives and, more importantly, this present moment a whole lot more than we ever thought possible. So how do we do that? And by the way, this is really good for us in artistic ways as well, because it allows us to see what it is that we're actually creating with new eyes. So instead of, for instance, you're drawing something, you're doing a sketch, and instead of trying to get the whole dang thing, you're seeing the shapes, or you're seeing the texture, or you're seeing the shadow, but you're not getting so overwhelmed by, the whole thing, Like we were talking recently in the Do Art With Me thing that we did with the very awesome and cute panda that we did. It's actually what we did was a few shapes that created a panda, which is crazy if you think about it. Do a, tear shape, do a little curve, do a circle, and then suddenly, before you know it, you've got a freaking panda. And everything can be like that. So a very good practice is to sit and calm your mind. Let's actually do this for a second. Okay, so you're gonna take a breath in and a breath out, and then do it again. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time, why not? Breathe in and breathe out. Now, detach your thinking mind and instead just see what is around you. First, what is immediately there in front of you. And don't label it. So if you're watching this, say, on your iPad, that's a rectangle. If you are looking at this on a computer, see a rectangle with a whole lot of squares below it. You see what I'm getting at? Now expand that perception outward. Maybe there is a stuffed animal sitting there. Its face, what is it? Is it a circle? Is it a sphere? And do this with everything around you. Just check in with it. And only notice the shape. Cylinder, square, rectangle. And then expand even further, right? Now maybe you're looking at the door behind me, big rectangle, kind of a square, and so on and so on and so on. Then what we're gonna do is retract that perception now. So come back in and now see the same shapes, but start to see texture and color. So rectangle, black, shiny, something like that. And do that with everything that you see around you. And then what you can do, if you want to take it to Jedi level, is close your eyes and try to visualize those shapes around you with those textures and the things without labels that you had around you. See what you can remember that was there. So now you're, working some muscles you probably haven't worked before. And then what you can do from there, that's a very good meditation, by the way, and it's a very good practice on letting go of the judgment, letting go of focusing on, all these things that actually don't matter, and focusing instead on the moment, being mindful. What we can do then is take our sketchbook, bam, and draw some of that stuff. Draw the shape. Draw, maybe you've got a water bottle sitting right there. Draw the shape of that water bottle. That's it. Don't even worry about it. So there's this kind of circle-y thing, right? Oval, I guess you call it. Then the lid is actually a rectangle from my perspective, right? Even though if I'm going the other way, it's a circle. And then you go on from there. Pocket thinks this is hilarious. And then from there, you can add the texture, you can add the color, and you don't get hung up on the daunting task of creating these things that maybe they're overwhelming. Kind of like when Pocket decides to scream instead of speak. And when we start to do this, what we can find is that the moment that we're in, we appreciate it more. We judge less. And wouldn't that be nice to go through this life and judge people and things and experiences less and enjoy what's happening right here, right now more? Now imagine if you can take that enjoyment and that perception and add it into whatever creative thing you do. Some amazing things are going to happen. At the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to grow and evolve and expand as human beings and as creative human beings. And part of that means to try to change the way that we see things. Try to change that inner whatever it is. I just think of it as a nattering monkey that lives between my ears, or it sits on top of my head some days and tries to steer me around by grabbing, you know what I mean? And we all go through this. So, slow down, breathe, practice these exercises, slow down more, be mindful of the moment that you're in, and try to see what is really there. And I can guarantee that it's going to change your perspective on everything, especially your life. And it definitely will improve your art. Thanks a lot. If you're somebody who's been watching since the get-go, holy smokes, give yourself 6 gold stars. I know, that's the most gold stars I've ever given anybody. 6 go to you. And if you're somebody new, watch some of these other videos and tell your friends, tell your frenemies, pass them on, because the more of us that are trying to live a better life, trying to be more present, more creative, and more mindful of the moment that we're in, well, that's a good thing. You take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.